happening, ladies and gents? Look, you are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, pop culture, sports, or the latest buzz, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So kick back, stay informed, and let's get ready to join the conversation. Look, guys, it is a big night. I'm actually pre-recording this episode currently because it is Tuesday, September 10th. It is debate night. So this is a special edition of the Arrington Gavin Show because the first debate between current Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald J. Trump will be happening tonight. It is hosted by ABC News, and you will have the moderators David Muir and I believe Lindsay Davis is the other moderator. Yes, Lindsay Davis. So it's going to be a very interesting debate. This is the first time, to my knowledge, of Kamala Harris and Donald Trump really in the same room. It's been a long time. I believe when she was on Senate and when she was in Senate and Trump was the then president, I believe they might have been in the same room then, but this is the very first interaction between them since the major announcement. So it will be interesting. So many people are like, okay, can Trump handle his composure? Can he avoid the insults? Is Kamala Harris going to be great at debating, or is she going to be, is it going to be difficult because she struggled previously when she ran for president in debates? So we will see. So I've been reaching out to a few of my friends that are at least available for a few minutes, because I know it's a busy night, a lot of watch parties happening everywhere, at least in my hometown in Hampton Roads, Virginia. And so I'm excited because I have my good friend, Mr. Clarence Neely. He is a dear friend of mine. We actually co-hosted a show in the past on WPCE 95.3 Peace WPCE, and called Viewpoint. So it's another Viewpoint reunion. So I'm excited to get his take and insight on this. He's actually part of Poolside Cooking TV. It's a popular TV show. I highly recommend to check them out on all socials. They're going to be hosting a debate watch party this evening, so I'm excited that he took the time on his schedule to join me. All right, those who continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show, I truly appreciate it, my friends. Be sure to tune in weeknights available wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on the streaming services of YouTube and Rumble. Okay, YouTube and Rumble, as well as our radio affiliate WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk out of Dallas, Georgia, as well as WDJYFM.com. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. on that radio affiliate. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on my good friend, Mr. Clarence Neely. Let me see where is Clarence? Where is he at? There he is. Clarence, what's going on with you, brother?
Hey, man. How you doing, Gary Arrington? How are you?
I'm doing great, my friend. It's been a minute. How's everything going with you?
Man, it's fantastic. If it was any better, I think it'd be illegal.
Well, look, man.
Doing real good, man. How about yourself?
I can't complain. It's been a busy season right now. As you know, I mean, you're very connected in the city of Virginia Beach, and when it comes to local and state politics in the in Virginia, and it's a big night, man. It's a big night. As I mentioned with the listeners and the viewers before, this is I'm pre-recording this because it is debate night. I'm laser focused with the debates, and I know it's a bunch of watch parties happening around the area. But I'm very excited, like I mentioned before. We co-hosted a show Viewpoint together, so it's a Viewpoint reunion.
And Viewpoint reunion.
That's right, and congrats too, because you were recently inducted in the Virginia Radio Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
And the Wall of Fame.
The Wall of Fame, excuse me.
That's on display at the Slover Library.
Awesome.
That was a big honor, man. Big honor. Shout out to the Hampton Roads Black Radio Announcers Association, which is the Norfolk chapter. It's actually a national organization, but they were just blessed, Phil Nelson, with a charter here in Virginia. So I was really honored, man. He was around 5 years on radio, and I got that already. So I'm blessed. All those other guys got 50, 60, 70 years in radio already.
Wow. Well, you know what though? It's about the impact. It's about the impact that you put on the listeners. I will say your program, you're part of WPCE Peace 90 now Peace 95.3 FM and
Yes, sir.
is it 14
$1,400 AM.
1400 AM. That's right. And you're hosting a Crusade for Christ, which is one of the oldest, if I'm not mistaken, the oldest running
Yeah.
East Coast,
Over
man.
50 years, running for
Wow.
50 years.
Wow. Well, look, sir, you don't look a day over 30, by the way. No, I'm joking. I'm
Thank
messing
you,
with you.
sir. Thank you. I'm trying to look like you, Arrington.
Oh,
Nice,
stop it,
nice
stop
looking young man.
it.
You know,
I
and
try, man. I
you got a
try.
big career in radio.
I
You know,
appreciate that. I
radio
appreciate
and
it.
TV.
I
You
appreciate
know,
that, Clarence, man.
I watch your progress, bro, and you're doing real well.
Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much, man. Well, look, let's get it going. While we're really even having this, this recording right now, man. It's debate night. It is a huge night between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. Before I kind of move on to talking about that, let's kind of recap on really how this election started. So beforehand, you initially had around like 9 people that in the Republican primary that thought they had what it take to avoid another Trump administration, because we know, let's be honest, there is no such thing as the Republican Party at this point. It's the MAGA
At this point,
party.
no, it's the mega party.
It's the MAGA party, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
you see the popularity, the fan base that he has, and you initially had previous candidates that thought they had what it take, they had what it took to beat him, and the only closest individual, or at least that tried to stick it out, was Nikki Haley, former South Carolina governor.
Right.
Nikki
Right.
Haley,
She stuck it out. She stuck it out.
she did, and I personally think she could have stayed a little longer. But hey, when it comes to the funding, when it comes to not receiving the access or receiving the delegates from each state, look, they wanted Trump, they got him, and at the time, Biden said, hey, look, he's going to run for reelection, and a lot of Democrats were not happy about that due to
Right.
his age,
Right.
his cognitive ability, and he was he said he was going to run, and then he was excited
Right.
about the debate, and then they had their first debate between
Doing it anyway.
first debate between it was Joe Biden at the time and Donald Trump, and
Mhm.
that debate did not go good, man. That it did not go good at all. It was
No, it didn't.
if you
It
think, I
didn't.
mean, right then and there, that said, okay, look, it looks like it's going to be another Trump administration after looking at that first debate.
Yeah, I was a little embarrassed, because of course we were rooting for Joe Biden. We were
Mhm.
rooting for President Biden.
Mhm.
And when my wife and I watched that debate, and when we saw that debate, we were like, "Oh, this thing is over." And immediately, I said they need to really, boost Kamala. They need to boost Kamala up and
Mhm.
let her run for president. She,
Mhm.
because she's a shining star anyway.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then when they did, you saw what happened. You just saw a burst of energy.
Would you say, Clarence, were like there was a good number of, and I would say not a good number, but we start off with a lot of undecided voters because they didn't want to see the two old guys run against each other, so they really weren't too satisfied with the options. Do you think the Democratic Party at the time should at least encourage a proper like primary, encourage some other Democratic candidates? Because I mean, at the time you had RFK. He was running as a Democrat. He was probably one of the first few that started running as a Democrat. He since then left and ran as an independent. But then you had a congressman, excuse me, out of Minnesota, in I believe his name was Dean Phillips. You had uh uh um I'm forgetting her name to save my life. She was an author and entrepreneur, but she Williamson, Marianne Williamson. She ran as well, and that was pretty much it on the Democratic side. At the time, Kamala did not put her, was taking the leap to run because, hey, Joe Biden was running, so she would have still been a part of that ticket and possibly, pursue to run as the VP pick instead of the presidential pick. So, do you think the Democrats should have at least done a proper primary beforehand rather than just saying, okay, Biden's our guy in a sense?
No, no. The Democrats made a right decision because looking at it scientifically
Mm-hmm.
from a media standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
Kamala Harris had the vantage point. Out of
Okay.
all the potential candidates that could have jumped in the race.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So and again, you're talking 6 months. not even
Very true.
6 months, like 4 months. You're not even talking a whole 6 months. So you had to put somebody in there that had the juice and had the momentum.
Mm,
And Kamala, because she has the backing of some very, very powerful people, she was the one that they know could beat Donald Trump. So I thought it was a great decision that they made. For once, I agree with the Dems. For once, I agree with them. Because every now and then I'm like, I get a little disgusted with the Democratic Party sometimes.
Oh, well,
It's just
you and
time.
me both, and that's why we've always seen eye to eye. Because I've always said that I think we could agree on this one. We've always been independent thinkers, right? We've always been
Oh,
in the
absolutely.
middle, like independence all the way. So I have
As a
an
matter
issue
of
with
fact,
both sides.
Arrington, Kay James, I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
Kay
you're fine.
James, the former Secretary of the Commonwealth, in a meeting, we were talking about candidacy, and I
hmm
told her before we started the meeting, I said, I just want to let you know I'm not a Democrat or Republican, I'm a strategist.
hmm
And she said, no, you're a solutionist. And I ran with that. I literally ran with that, Arrington. And so now I'm actually looking at the possibilities, even starting a solutionist party, because there's a lot of people that are kind of like in between,
Very true. Very true. Very true.
and
Majority of
and
America,
then
actually, about 64% people are independent minded thinkers and voters. So I mean, you're absolutely
right,
right with that.
right. So I thought the decision that they made was very strategic, and it was a very smart decision, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
She has the power, she has the juice, and as you can see, with all the momentum behind her, she's polling probably neck to neck with Donald Trump right now.
You're absolutely right, because as we mentioned, after that first debate between him and Joe Biden, at the time you're like, oh, this is going to be in Joe Biden's favor. I mean, hell, he had it on CNN, right, which is more of a left leaning media outlet. Then you added the stipulations as far as muting the mic, giving them a certain time limit, so people won't continue to overpower each other. So you're like, okay, this is going to be in Biden's favor, but really, just the way Biden was acting, it's like, oh, Trump's like, okay, I don't need to say anything, and which he did not, because people are saying that Biden struggled giving his answer, but guess what? He still gave an answer. On the hand,
Right, right,
Trump might have been speaking clearly, but he wasn't answering any questions. He was
right.
fumbling. It was fact checked multiple times, and so after that, yeah, the Republicans was on skyrocketed, right? They were winning at that point, and then
Hmm.
you have the assassination attempt. The
Right,
assassination attempt
right,
with
right.
with that position of him, Clarence. It was,
You broke up a little bit, Arrington, right then. You broke up just a little bit. It's almost like you lost your signal.
hold tight real quick, ladies and gents. We're just having some technical difficulties. Hold that thought. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, my friends. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna get taking care of that. But you're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna have a quick commercial break. We'll be back. Just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary. Welcome back, my friends, to the Arrington Gavin Show. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. Joining me is my good friend Clarence Neely, radio host, TV host, solutionist. I mean, sharp
Yes,
brother. For
yes.
those who are
Solutionist
watching this,
party.
that's right,
Solutionist party.
solutionist party. Those
Yeah.
who are watching, a sharp brother. You got the suit on. He's ready for tonight. As you know, it is debate night, and we had a little bit of technical difficulties. When before the commercial break, Clarence, I brought up the assassination attempt on President
Yeah.
Donald Trump. When he
Yeah.
rose that fist up with the blood streak, I was like, "Hey, look, that's your win right there, because that's your golden, photo shot.
Mm,
That was the win.
mm.
They were on a high during the RNC, because it was literally the weekend uh before the RNC, the assassination attempt. So I was like, again, boom, they got it won. But then, a turn of events occurred. President Joe Biden announced that he is dropping out the race, and immediately he said, "I'm endorsing Kamala Harris." What went through your mind, Clarence, when that moment occurred?
Well, if you listen to my radio show, I know it's early in the morning. I said about 3 weeks before right after the assassination trip. I kind of remember when that was. I told Fee, he was with me on Friday, and Jessica, and I said, I believe we had a guest on that day, and I said, you're going to see. Actually, I said Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is going to be. I got to make sure I get her name right. Kamala Harris is going to be the next president. I just said that, and I said what you're going to
Mm,
see is Joe Biden drop out the race, and you're going to see Kamala actually get in the forefront, and you're going to see a surge and a push. Definitely a big press push, bunch of money coming at her, and that's exactly what happened. But I just kind of saw it. I just kind of saw it, and it's just like Barack Obama was the perfect first black president.
mm-hmm.
Well, Kamala Harris is the perfect first woman president,
Very true.
regardless of her color. She's just the first. She's the a perfect first woman president. So I kind of saw it. I saw it. I actually saw it coming. You
Wow.
know?
And you know what? And I feel as though Republicans really like lost their, I can't say it on air right now, but they lost their ish when
Yeah.
they heard that,
Yeah.
because then they knew this, like, oh damn, Donald got to actually put the work in. This
He got to
whole
put the
joking
work in.
around,
Right.
this whole
Right.
joking around, and so it's not going to work. And what
Right.
occurs? They start with the personal attacks, because to me, I said it many times on this program, it's a fear tactic. When
You're not going to
you're
see
against the
many
wall.
personal attacks tonight.
You think so? You think we're not going to see any?
You're not going to see a lot coming from Donald Trump. You're not going to see a lot of personal attacks. I believe honestly, you're going to see more go straight to policy.
You know what? I don't disagree with that. The only thing is, we know that no one can tell Donald Trump what to do, even though he has strategists
Right.
and people that, communications director, whatnot, spokespeople. He will still do his own thing. Now, being that the percentage, the points are, neck and neck. I mean, I think they're averaging between like
Come on, idiot.
48 to 48, 47 to, this, and like, it's very close. It's very close. So he knows that this is a make it or break it, because I believe they said they signed on to do at least 3 debates, but this possibly
I
could
got
be
a
the
feeling
only
this might
one.
be the one. I mean, you're talking.
Wow.
Early voting starts September 20th. I
Very
mean, this,
true.
this this is the make or break debate right here. Any
Wow.
other debate after this is just going to be just having some fun, because right now this is the key. You're talking what, less than 2 months
Yep.
at the end of the day. You're talking less than 2 months, so they're gonna have to put in that work tonight. But I really believe the strategy behind that Donald Trump's going to use tonight
Mm-hmm.
is to be kind, be a gentleman, and not throw a whole lot of bad blows. What he's going to do is he's going to make it look like Kamala has been running the country ever since she became vice president. And he's going to
Mm,
bring up all the shortcomings about her administration under the Biden administration. That's just what I think. And I think it's a strategy that his political strategists are going to use to show a different side of Donald Trump. So I really believe that it's going to be that he can't really come at her with all that crazy stuff he normally does.
very
Plus,
true.
think about it like this: One thing white folks don't like doing is arguing with black women. You know, they don't like getting into it with black women. They can get into it with black men, but black women, nah.
Nah, that ain't
They'll
good.
kind of step back. Go ahead, let this young lady say what she got to say. Let's keep it moving. So I really believe it's going to be a good, solid debate,
Well,
and it's going to be a debate on policy
and you
and
make some
economics
excellent you make some excellent points, man. I'm gonna try to remember it from the beginning. So the first thing you said, he's gonna try to act like a gentleman and be kind. I think a lot
Yeah,
of people, especially a lot of women, are listening to that comment and they're gonna say like, ha! That's what they say right there. Because
right, right,
that's a hard maybe on that one. But
right,
when you
right,
mentioned about the bringing up the administration of the Biden administration, because she is a part of the Biden
right,
administration.
right,
I think
right.
it is a great strategy, but sometimes as a voter, I'm almost like, okay, let's be realistic. Because for me, if I ask a person, okay, who's your favorite vice president? Like, no one really knows because it's the vice president. Like, they're assigned to do whatever mainly their superior tells them, who, their president, or of course who Congress and Senate in a sense, right? Because I always say Congress and Senate runs the United States. I don't the
Yeah, for
president
the
might have
most
the
part.
last
For
final
the
say.
most part.
Yeah, the president might have the last final saying as far as signature wise and stuff like that. But um, you know, she was hidden under a Biden umbrella. So you really never saw her shine like that. You know what I mean? So I
Hmm.
understand like the fact that she was a part of that administration, and that's going to be a lot of questions that she will have to answer and be prepared to answer, because there's a lot of people that weren't too satisfied with the Biden administration. Now,
Right, right,
with
right.
with Trump, he has to realize he's not just going against a woman and a woman of color, but he's also going against a prosecutor. Okay, and right now,
Right. So she knows how to argue.
and she knows how to argue. And right now, it's not looking too good when it comes to court cases and stuff for the former president. And some could say it's politically driven. Some could say no, it's justice. It's a back and forth argument on both sides. But he's going against a prosecutor, so in that sense, I would agree with you as far as she will be more successful in the debate. But again, you have the economy, which is a big deal. You have the immigration, which is a big deal, which was apparently her assignment under the Biden administration.
Hmm.
Um, you have, again, and she has to answer all the Biden administration issues because she's a part of that administration. So that's three big things. Um,
Hmm.
now
Hmm.
for Trump, I mean, come on, there's a list of issues she can bring up. Like I mentioned, the court cases, the never admitting that he lost the presidential race. There's so much stuff you can really bring up for Biden. He hasn't spoken at all. Well, he tries to lean away from Project 2025, I believe, which
Hmm.
he
Which is
cannot.
smart on his. That's smart on his self on that side.
It is, but the hard thing is, it's like, even though he tries to lean away, it tends to always still be attached to him. A lot of
Yeah,
the officials are from his administration.
and I believe that's a Democratic strategy too, to keep him
Mm,
attached to Project 2012. I just believe that's a Democratic strategy. Oh, in Trump's defense,
hmm
in
hmm
Trump's defense, I believe that he really doesn't have. I believe he hasn't even read Project 2025.
I don't think he
I
read
don't think
nothing.
he. I don't believe he read 900 some odd pages of that. I
hmm
just think that it was written by a bunch. Well, you already know Heritage Foundation, a bunch of conservatives. It
hmm
was written by them. They probably briefed him on it, gave him some bullet points, and said these are some of the things that we want. You got to remember something about politics.
hmm
It's the people with the money that move the politicians.
Very true. Very true.
It's the people with the money that move the politicians. And the Heritage Foundation is a group of very, very wealthy people,
Yep.
very wealthy people. So I don't think, and in Trump's defense, and I'm not going to be defending Trump much because I'm a Kamala Harris backer.
hmm
You know, I don't think he's really read that, and I think that the Democrats are using that as a strategy to kind of, it's like almost like a scare tactic.
Yes. Yes.
Because when you read it, it is kind of scary. And the thing that stands out to me the most is the educational piece.
Mm.
Kind of redefining our education system. And you already know what that means.
Yes, yes,
You know
yes.
what that means. You might forget about Black History Month.
And
You
that's
might
and
forget
that's
about HBCUs.
oh my goodness
Those are going to
gracious.
become universities.
That is crazy.
HBCUs are going to become universities.
That is crazy. I mean, and again, that's why for me, and don't get me wrong, because again, I'm a middleman. I voted for Republicans. I voted for Democrats. Before now on a on
Mm-hmm.
a on a presidential race, I've is leaned more left on the presidential side, but local and state, I've always gone with my interest, right? Person over
Mm-hmm.
party is
Mm-hmm.
my philosophy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but
And all politics is local, Arrington. You probably heard that
oh, hold on, I think you might say it one more time. I think you're mute. You got muted. Oh, hey, Clarence, can't hear you, Clarence. Can't. Hey, Clarence, can't hear you. Can't hear you. Wait, hold on, Clarence. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna take a quick. Oh, hold on. Now I can hear you. Say, would you just say?
I
Can you
think
say something?
my phone was ringing just then.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah. Can
said,
you repeat that?
what I apologize. What I was saying is I always tell people that all politics is local. Okay.
Mm,
And this is local politics is your opportunity to really get involved because you can reach out and touch your city council people. You can
mm-hmm,
reach out and touch your local mayors. You can reach out and touch your senators and delegates.
mm-hmm,
But when it comes up there, and then every now and then you can reach out and touch your Congress people too, depending
mm-hmm.
upon your relationships.
That's very true. Very
But
true.
the most impact, is our local politics. Like here in Virginia Beach right now, we
Mm-hmm,
have Sabrina Wooten running that just got the Democratic nod.
mm-hmm,
And she has a great opportunity to win this thing, believe it or not.
mm-hmm,
She has a great opportunity. If we could keep Chris in the race, if we could keep Mayor Bobby Dyer in the race, and we keep John Moss in the race, and that guy RK, keep
mm-hmm,
all four of them in the race, they're going to split up that whole Republican-sided vote.
mm,
And
mm,
and
mm.
and Sabrina can just scoop her way right in there, and I think she'll be a good mayor. I really do.
You know what? I've had the opportunity to speak with two candidates. At the time, former state delegate Cheryl Turpin was on the
Right? Oh,
program.
yeah, Sherlin.
Yeah,
Okay.
she at the time she made her mayoral announcement on the
Mm-hmm.
program, and then I had the opportunity to speak with Chris Taylor, which again, very class act dude. Have much respect for him.
My
Um,
great friend Chris Taylor,
it's
good man, good man.
very
He'll make a good mayor too. He will
Yes,
he
he
will
is.
make a
I
good
will
mayor.
say it's you have a tough battle with Virginia Beach, and I've spoken with Sabrina Wooten as well. I mean, people have to remember, those races. I mean, she won at the time when it was still an at-large system, I believe, when it was city council and not
She did.
district.
She
So I
did.
mean that's a huge thing that they always need to remember with that race. But you're right when it comes to and I'll talk a little bit about the local politics if you don't mind having a few more minutes. I know it's getting close to
Absolutely. Let's go.
showtime, but but when you mentioned about uh local politics, all politics is local. I actually heard state delegate Alex Askew say that. He told me that one time. He's like,
Mm,
or
mm,
spoken. He said he shared it to a group of people in a room. All politics is local, and I think that's true as well because what happens at the top is going to continue to trickle and fall down to your local. So best believe voting matters. Voting is very important. I've encountered Clarence so many individuals, and sadly to say, it's young people, and it's the undecided voters, but it's the voters that they're choosing the couch over even voting. And I'm like, I'm like
mm.
this. People fought hard for you to have the rights to vote. It's your duty. It's your job to get out there and vote. I understand the frustration because a lot of people are always repeating the same old song. Hey, look, a lot of unmade promises being met or never being met, and people are tired. People are frustrated. What can you
Mm.
say, Clarence, about if you come across some young people, and when I mean young, I mean like mid 20s and into 18, right? Like,
Mm.
what would you, or I'll break it up. Young voters as well as the undecided voters, people that are still on the fence about Kamala Harris. How do you kind of reel them into saying, hey, look, you still got to vote. You still got to. This is why you should, and this and that and the other. So how would you start swaying them?
I'll first let them know, especially if they're black, young black people.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let them know that Kamala Harris is our reparations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we asked for reparations and blah 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 blah, and of course, nobody's really presented a real agenda,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for reparations. But Kamala Harris is our reparations, and now we
Mm-hmm.
could go deep down that rabbit hole,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And I say that because of the Zionist impact she has in her administration and in her campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I say that because she has a very strong Zionist backing,
Mm-hmm.
and if you can remember in the DNC speech that she gave, um, she her speech was awesome. I mean, great speech, but she got real aggressive when it came down to Israel. Did you
Yeah,
notice that?
that's very true. That's very true.
She got very aggressive when it came to Israel, rightfully so. And I always say the most powerful person in this whole equation is Emhoff, her husband, the second gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most powerful person in this whole equation. Now, again, we could go so far down a rabbit hole
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, we could get really deep, and maybe this could be another topic on one of your other shows, because, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we're about to start here in a minute. But Emhoff is a very, very well-known big entertainment attorney in California.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, big. Okay, and he ain't nobody to be played with. Put it that way. Sharp guy. I know people that know him.
Mm-hmm.
Real sharp guy. You know, but he's also one thing you'll learn about the Zionists or the Jewish group.
Mm-hmm.
They're planners. Okay, they plan 20, 30, 40 years down the road, whereas we plan for the next day. Okay.
Which that needs to be a topic of its own. That we
A
need to start
topic of
changing
its
that.
own. We need to plan like the Jews plan. We need to
Mm-hmm.
plan like they plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Someone asked me the other day, am I pro-Israel or am I pro-Palestine? I said I'm pro-Israel. Okay. And it's not pro-Israel because of why everybody else is pro-Israel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm pro-Israel because of Proverbs 13:22, where it says the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous, not necessarily calling them quote unquote wicked.
Mm-hmm.
But that statement means a lot, and it means a lot in politics. Somewhere in history, somebody's got to pay for our slavery. Just like the Jewish people were, they were got reparations for the Holocaust,
Mm-hmm.
and the Japanese did, and we're the only people on the planet that never got reparations for anything. But I believe that the Zionist and Jewish population will do something for us. I
Mm-hmm.
believe that because I have a lot of Jewish friends, and each one of them are either high in politics or high in business, and they
Mm-hmm.
always help me. They always help me, and they always teach me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning finance right now. You know, I'm learning technology. We just created a AI platform. You
Wow.
know, and yeah, but this is all by the help of some Jewish friends that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so they know, and a lot of the Jewish people are marrying black women, especially the men. Okay, no, seriously,
I mean, can you blame them, Clinton? No, I'm
no,
joking.
I can't blame them. No, I can't. You know, we got the most beautiful women in the world. You know, and then black men, we just messing up. You know, what's my man's name? Dr. Umar. You know, that's the
Oh my
only thing
god.
I love Dr. Umar. I love him. I love him. I think he's a great brother. He's a great philosopher. A lot of great points. And I actually you know, am a donor to his school. But when it comes to interracial marriages, I kind of disagree with that because
Mm-hmm.
love transcends color. Okay, love transcends color. If you're in love with somebody, it doesn't make a difference what color they are. Okay, it really
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. So that part I disagree with him on. But yeah, I mean, you know, you're going to see a lot more of that. You know,
Well,
got to remember.
that's probably the first one of the first disagreements Clarence and I have. Umar is not I'm not a fan. He's an interesting character. That's why well, not character. I won't say that, but he's an interesting dude. I'll leave it at that. He's interesting. I would just say that he's interesting. I don't, he's interesting. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. But no, though I hear your point absolutely though.
Hey, yeah, okay, I'm going to interview, but he is an interesting character.
I definitely hear what you're saying, and you're making some awesome points, man. And before you get off, because I know it's getting kind of packed where you're at, because you're currently at a watch party.
I'm at ground zero for the debate, baby. I'm at ground zero.
Man, I know
Cooking Cafe.
That's right, Poolside Cooking Cafe. Very
excited. Wait for you to see it, man. Arrington.
I still need to get there, because I haven't, ever since they remodeled. I have not been in there yet. So shout out to Gemlin and the Poolside Cooking Squad, man.
Her corporate office is right next door. This is her corporate office right here.
That is what I'm talking about. Again,
you got everything all condensed, all in one area now.
And that is awesome. It's a family-owned business, and it's a tight-knit team. Shout out to Poolside Cooking to my friends Gemlin, Hewitt, and like I said, Clarence as well. Y'all got a great operation going on over there, man. But before I let you go, I want to talk a little bit on the local side, and then I have one final question to ask you in regards to tonight's debate. But on the local side in Virginia Beach, you mentioned as far as Virginia Beach has a chance to possibly have its first ever black mayor, right?
Yes,
whether
sir.
that's
it
could be a female or it can be a male, but you have a very long political race out there, and even on on local council seats, right? I've interviewed a couple of candidates that are running for city council. Phil Hines, who's running for Chris Taylor's seat.
Good man.
And as well as a Cash Green, he's running for Sabrina's seat. And so I've had
Green,
them on,
right, and then the other girl too,
Mabinti.
Mabinti.
Yeah, she's running as well. So I've spoken with a couple of them on the program, and like I've mentioned before, I spoke with 2 candidates on the mayoral race in Virginia Beach. But what's your take, man, on that Virginia Beach mayoral race? Because before I let our listeners know, because we have listeners outside of Virginia, we have people in really all around the world, especially our listeners out in Dallas, Georgia on WDJY 99.1 FM. Virginia Beach is a premier city located in Virginia. Virginia Beach, you have the ocean front, you have the businesses. I think it's number 1 as far as it has the most. It's the most populated city in the state of Virginia.
Yes, it is. So it's the largest city in Virginia.
Largest city as well,
land-wise and population-wise.
And it's the home of, really, I believe, 3 powerful individuals on the like our governor, Glenn Youngkin, is from Virginia Beach.
Yep.
Jen Kiggins, serving in Congress. Elaine Loria. You have our Attorney General. Oh yes, Pharrell. I mean, so many people.
Pharrell now.
Yeah, for so many people. But like, what's your take on the mayoral race out in Virginia Beach?
I believe, first I want to say, of course, I'm supporting Sabrina Wooten. Sabrina Wooten is the reason why I'm in politics today.
Wow.
And I predicted she was going to be mayor one day. I actually said that to her in her first victory party that we had there in Town Center. And I think it's a tight race. A lot of people always say, well, there'll never be a black mayor in Virginia Beach. Well, I think we're about to make some people eat them words, because we got a very good chance. As long as, now, I don't know if I should say this on a podcast or over the air or not, but I'll just say it. As long as Chris stays in the race, Bobby Dyer stays in the race, John Mall stays in the race, and RK stays in the race. If those guys stay in the race all the way up to the end of October, now, September 20th is going to be the telltale sign. Early voting. Remember, early voting starts September 20th, guys.
Yep.
Early voting starts September 20th. If we can turn out September 20th, which we're going to really go hard trying to get everybody to turn out on September 20th, that will be a telltale sign of how we can do in November. But I really think that we have about a 65 to 70% chance to elect a black mayor in Virginia Beach.
Wow, and that'll be the first in history.
And that's going to be national, probably worldly news.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. Also, the announcement of Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears. She made her bid to run for governor. What's your
And
take
if
on
she
the?
was smart, and I know she is, she would back Kamala Harris. If she was smart,
If
because she's
yeah,
running against a very strong Democrat, Abigail.
yeah, I don't think
Congressman
Winsome's gonna
Abigail,
do that. Like you
Congresswoman.
said, it will be. You know what though, but yeah, she wouldn't do that, and it's it wouldn't surprise me, because I don't know Winsome Sears personally, but I kind of consider her like a a Byron Donald Republican in a sense. If you know, maybe like
She's not
she's
far right. She's not far right, but because neither her or Youngkin are far right.
mm-hmm.
But you have to understand their backing will a lot of their backing will come from the far right Republicans.
And that's what I was gonna mention. They're gonna do what the elite kind of guides them, because they need that support when it comes to the race as well. But
if Trump wins,
mm-hmm.
Winston Sears is shoo-in. If Trump loses, she can say goodbye.
Do you really think so? Even with the majority of the House and the Senate in Virginia is Democrat, you still think it would be a shoo-in for her if Trump wins this election? You think so?
Yeah, because if Trump wins, it's going to be a big Republican surge. Republican surge. But if he loses, which he probably will, she's going to have a very tough time beating Abigail. Very tough time.
You mentioned about her backing Kamala Harris. One thing I've noticed in this presidential race is that the Harris-Walsh campaigns has received the most GOP endorsements I've ever witnessed. Right?
Ever.
I mean,
ever.
I mean, come on, they got Dick Cheney and his daughter, former Congresswoman Liz Cheney. You have, I think they spoke about it on the program. A little over 200 GOP staffers from the Bush administration, the McCain administration at the time when they were running, as well as Mitt Romney. They're endorsing. Even former Trump staffers are endorsing Kamala Harris.
Exactly.
And I think it's all about, just they know that democracy is at stake. Again, people, you have democracy over the party, which is a theme that I've been hearing a lot now. But Clarence, I know it's getting packed where you're at, man.
Yeah, that's started rolling now.
Yeah, very, very quick, man. How would you grade the score on tonight's debate just beforehand? What would be your scores on tonight's debate?
Kamala Harris by 10 points.
Okay.
She's gonna blow it away today. She's gonna blow it away. You heard it here, folks. Look, I want to thank my dear friend Clarence Neely, host of Crusade for Christ, which you can listen to. Give us the details for the program, Clarence. Yeah, you can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 a.m. on WPCE 95.3 FM and Poolside Cooking TV show here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. WGNT channel now CW44, and of course 24/7 on Roku. Awesome. Clarence, take care, my friend. I'll shoot you a text here and there throughout because I know we're on so many group chats and all that good stuff, man. But Thank you so much for taking the time out your schedule. Talk to you soon, my friend. All right, buddy. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Take care. Peace. Ladies and gents, what a great conversation with my dear friend, Mr. Clarence D. Look, we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, I'll have some more pre-show debate analysts analyzing this debate, man. It is debate night, and this is a special edition of the Arrington Gavin Show. So don't go anywhere, my friends. You're tuning in to the Arrington Gavin Show.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Look, I hope you all enjoyed that conversation I had with my good friend Mr. Clarence Neely. Uh he helped he kind of helped get my start in radio. Really, he did. Um we like I said, we started a weekly program, uh uh V-Point, which stood for viewpoint. We both were, there was an age difference, there was a political difference, but at the end of the day, it was great dialogue, and it was a respectful dialogue at the same time. And I always like to get his take on things, especially politically, because he is a connected individual. Like myself. Networking is key. I've always mentioned it many times here on this program how important it is to network. All right, especially as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. If you're trying to build a brand, it's always great to have a great networking tool. Up your sleeve, because you're gonna be in rooms, you're gonna be in places. You're like, I don't know too, but it always helps when you know at least one or two people, and they will help, build that networking conglomerate. And Clarence is one of those guys. I've met so many people, which garnered relationships, strong relationships, and friendships with those individuals. And I always like to get his take on this, but uh um yeah, it was a very, very impactful. We impacted a lot of stuff heading into the first presidential debate between current Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. um it's going to be exciting. It's exciting, nervous at the same time. Again, laser focus. I possibly will be getting on another program a little later this evening. And It's a lot. It's a busy night. Um, I think the big question, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, is: will Donald Trump be tamed? Okay, will he be tamed? Will the Harris campaign will they start with the personal attacks? Because let's be honest, it has been attacks on both sides, more coming from Trump. But is she gonna try to get under his skin because she knows that's gonna be a tactic that will throw him off his game? Will she bring up past court cases? Will she bring up current allegations? Will she bring up twice impeached 34 felony convictions? Like, will she bring all of that up? Will she bring January 6th? Okay. Will she bring all those things to play during this debate? Again, this debate is hosted by ABC News, moderated by David Muir and Lindsay Davis. Donald Trump, since the leading on into this debate, he has been insulting ABC News as one of the fake news corporations. There's so many fake news out there, especially ABC. He mispronounced one of their lead guys, George Stephanopoulos, by I think George Papadopoulos, George something. He messed up his name just to clown him, and as he does all the time, because Trump creates these names to mock individuals, because that's what I believe a 78-year-old man does nowadays, who wants to run for president. And still get spray tans and hair pieces. Oh, let me insult people's intelligence. Let me insult people's personal appearance. That's what it takes to win an election. Let's not forget where there were people involving in the one of the cases, I believe, Jean Carroll. I'm forgetting the full name, but Trump has a press conference pretty much explaining why he could never do that, because, hey, I'm just not attracted. That's why. Okay, so this is what they're saying. I mean, why do these rambling so-called press conferences if you know it's gonna, because it is hurting him? His mouth is his own enemy at this point. It is. And I'm trying to figure out, how much are you paying these strategists, man? Because I think they're just collecting a free check, because he's not going to listen to him. Now, in this debate, you heard it from Clarence. He said that Trump will be tamed. He will, because he knows he's losing. But again, I don't think Trump thinks he's losing. I don't think he thinks he knows that he's losing. Now, the polls say otherwise because there is they're neck and neck. 47 48, 48 48, 46 48. Like they're fluctuating amongst different areas. One thing I will say is that this is the make it or break it for Kamala and Donald Trump in order to gain the undecided voters. This is a make it and break it for both of them to get to gain and to garner the undecided votes, because those are the ones that are literally saying, I'm not gonna choose anybody. I'm not gonna I'm not a fan of either one of them. I'm not gonna vote for them. This right here could be make it or break it for them. It can. So we will continue to analyze, to focus, and see exactly how this will play out. Now, as I mentioned before, this is the prosecutor against the criminal. Okay, this is the prosecutor against the criminal. This is a person of color, whether if you want to address her as Indian American or African American. Look, she's a person of color. She's a black woman. She's also an half Indian as well. He's going against everybody. All right. He's going against a Harvard grad. Excuse me, a Howard grad. Excuse me. I apologize, y'all. He's going against a Howard grad. He's going against a really, on paper, an experienced individual in the world of office. Started on the local level, moved her way up to the state level, then moved her way to the federal level. She did the right steps. Unlike this man, born with a silver spoon, born into wealth, then decides to run for office, wins. What steps did he take? There was none. Now, it's a huge difference between the old white guy that can barely speak out a full sentence to now a prosecutor. Trump is facing a whole new individual. You hear me? Whole new person. Y'all, this will be an interesting evening, might I say. This will be an interesting evening. I think, once again, I mentioned before, this is a make it or break it for the both. Kamala has to answer questions to a lot of people. She has to answer the issues and the flaws from the Biden-Harris administration. She has to answer questions on the rising costs, grocery costs. She has to answer questions. She has to answer questions of the border issue. She has to answer questions on foreign policy. There's a lot of questioning that she has to answer. She has to answer to the black community. For those who are like, no, I don't know, because when she was a prosecutor, she locked up. I don't know how many times I've heard that crap. All right. Then you have the ones that are just like saying, how does she even get her way? And it's so despicable, because I feel as though, y'all, in our world, we never give a female a break. There's always something we find an issue why they can't continue to grow and to be a leader in our society. It's a disgrace. It really is. It's a disgrace. As I mentioned in the beginning of the show, my friends, this is a pre-recorded special edition, by the way, special edition of the Arrington Gavin Show, because this is debate night. It is Tuesday, September 10th. This is a pre-debate show, debate night pre-show, excuse me, and we will continue to follow up. I'll give you my my thoughts post debate on my social media at the Arrington Gavin Show. Be sure to follow Instagram right now. Please follow us on YouTube. All right, follow us on YouTube as well as on Rumble at the Arrington Gavin. So all you Rumble subscribers out there, follow us and subscribe to our channel at the Arrington Gavin Show. Subscribe to us on YouTube, R Smooth Club Media, the letter R, Smooth Club Media. Be sure to listen in to the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk out of Dallas, Georgia, as well as WDJYFM.com. And again, you can listen to this program available on all podcast platforms. Look, my friends, I will hit you up on the other side. I will be laser focused, as well as you should be laser focused for this debate, because guess what? We got to keep both these candidates foot to the fire. All right. You got to keep them both. They have to be ready to answer questions from the people. All right. This is the first debate. This might be their only debate. To my knowledge, I thought they were going to have 3, but apparently this might be their first and only due to the timing of this election. So this is a make it or break it. Who will be broken? Who will make it out victorious in this debate? It is Vice President Kamala Harris, former prosecutor, U.S. Senator, the first woman vice president, the first African American vice president, and the first Indian American vice president. Who will come out victorious? Will it be the billionaire Donald J. Trump, the man who debuted his political career at the highest level? His debut into politics was by winning the presidential race. No one saw this coming. But you know what? I don't even think he saw it, but he did. Who will come out victorious, my friends? Who will come out victorious? We will see. Look, y'all. Y'all take care. Y'all stay safe out there. Make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure you are registered to vote, because this is a very big election. So much is at stake. You hear me? So much is at stake. So please make sure you're registered to vote, and make sure your family and your friends, people within your inner circle, is registered to vote. I'm not taking no for an answer. That whole I'm choosing the couch crap, end that, okay? End that. We're not doing it. We're not having it. So be sure to do your part and vote. Early voting starts September 20th, my friends. Early voting starts September 20th. I'm Arrington Gavin. See you next time, my friends.